Ho ho ho, it's that time again. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Without Within. It's another visual novel. There seems to be a lot of those free ones floating around on Steam. Well, as long as it's free, why not take a look, I guess? So, Without Within. I have no idea what goes on in this. I only vaguely glance at the description. Something about calligraphy, and well, I'm not sure. Let's just go ahead and take a look then. Vinti, 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 Vinti. The chants of my fans echoed through the door in front of me. One of my two bodyguards wrapped his hand around the doorknob. Please prepare yourself, Miss Vinti. Once I open this door, we'll head straight up for our limo. The guard had no reason to fret. I had long since grown used to these crowds. Still, I nodded to put him at ease. After taking a deep breath, he pushed the door open. A crowd of hundreds raised their cameras as soon as I stepped out. My guards waved their arms to shoot him away. This red carpet was for me to walk on, after all. I blew a kiss for these star-struck peasants. Miss Vinti, please, let us hurry, my bodyguard said. Too bad for him. I strutted along like a model on a catwalk. A group of reporters managed to worm through the crowd. They now tiptoed over my guards in hopes of scoring that exclusive. Vinti, how does it feel to have won another Calligrapher of the Year award? A reporter asked me. Before I could answer, another dozen people shouted over each other, hoping for my attention. Vinti, may I get a photo with you? Can you sign some autograph for my kids? And two for me, of course. I can't believe I'm standing this close to Vinti. My fans stamped their dirty shoes all over the red carpet. Finally, my bodyguards pulled out their pepper sprays to keep these fans in check. A young male reached in my direction despite having a spray aimed at his face. Rather admirable for a peasant. I extended a hand for this male fan to kiss. Unfortunately for him, he fainted at the sight of my perfectly polished nails. I reached my limousine at last. My bodyguard opened the door for me, and as I climbed in, my trailing fans snapped as many photos as they could. Miss Vinti! Miss Vinti! The crowd chanted as my car window pulled up. How odd. Never referred to me as Miss. Oh, my graceful presence must have been too much for their sanity. These poor things. Miss Vinti! Miss Vinti! Oh. Well, have fun while it lasted. At least I got to ride in a limousine for a good 30 seconds. In real life, my only registered vehicle was, well, my 10-year-old bicycle. My apartment had no space for a car anyway. Actually, this single room with cracked walls might be an insult to the word apartment. Pull up those curtains for a spectacular $1 view featuring a sewage pipe and a wall tainted with yellow. Just open the window if you wish to smell the sewage as well. A breathtaking experience. By the way, sorry, I need to take back the one-room thing. This place actually had 2 rooms. Thank you very much. The second room happened to be a toilet. That's still counted, right? The toilet clocked 3 times a month, so be careful while using it. Miss Vinti! Miss Vinti! A woman's voice echoed from outside. She was no fan, but rather my landlady. I glanced over at my clock. 6 a.m. Waiting another hour or 2 would have been nice. She probably just wanted to tell me about another rent raise. Nothing good ever came out of that woman's mouth. I would be better off staying in bed. Oh boy, we get choices. That's the first on this channel. All the previous visual novel games we've been playing had... well, actually no. Voices from the sea had choices, but we were routed back into the right one anyway. Well, let's see what happens if we rise and shine. Coming! As I changed into something more appropriate, the landlady still kept knocking. I said I was coming, did I not? Maybe I should walk out naked if that was she dug. If this were a game, we might get a sales boost too. Oh, comedic music. Good morning, Miss Vinti, the landlady there said. I must ask, what's with that hair? It looks like you just woke up. That's because I did. It's a waste for young ladies like you to sleep away our youth. The landlady shook her head. She had no right to preach me like this. I wanted to tell her, but decided against it, as doing so would give her an excuse to lecture me further. With her sighs, if I enraged her, she would squash me into Venti-flavored pancake. Miss Venti, your rent was due 3 days ago. Oh. Well, at least there was no rent increase. Sorry, madam. My next paycheck will come after tonight's shift, so I'll pay you first thing tomorrow morning. The landlady grunted. All right. Just know that if this keeps up, you'll have to find somewhere else to live. She spun around to leave. When she disappeared behind the corridor, I kicked my door shut, causing a piece of my cracked wall to fall off. I tried shoving the piece back into place. My efforts resulted in more wall fragments flaking off. Great. The landlady would make me pay for that next month. Once I become an accomplished calligrapher, she would beg for a chance to shine my shoe. Hey, I sounded a bit ranty before, but that was never my intention. A lot of famous people have had humble beginnings. I would follow in their footsteps, but first, I needed to be put in the work. Well, it certainly is comedic so far. I like it, it's got charm. Alright, let's see. And so I returned to the busiest street in my area. With my calligraphy spread before me, I sat on the concrete and rested my back against the fence. Car horns blared at behind me, mixed with people shouting things about each other's mothers. These cars kept expelling fumes that made me choke. Just one of the many things I dealt with in the name of art. Pedestrians took up almost every inch of space on the street ahead. Surely, this would be the day when somebody spotted my talent. As always, no one afforded me anything more than a passing glance, and my wail soon dwindled. Let me be honest, I never expected to be showered with praise by every head who passes through here. What was that old saying? 10% of the people you reached out to will buy your work. I could live with that, even just 1%, please. Anything but 0. I wanted to scream at these people. They had no idea how much sweat I poured out into these calligraphies. Calligraphies? Calligraphies. Calligrapher. I don't know, calligrapher just runs off my tongue better, but I'm probably mangling it. Do we have a choice to rant? Nah, let's be good. Persevere. As an artist, it is important to persevere. You must fight. I decided to keep these displeasures to myself. People often said patience would be rewarded. I wondered if my patience would ever become worthwhile. Just as I thought this, a man paused to look at my calligraphies. He had a bucket of fried chicken in his hand. The smell made my mouth water. As the man eyed my works one by one, I felt my cheeks heating up from anticipation. At last, someone who spared more than a moment with my works. This must be my reward. The timing could hardly be more perfect. I summoned the courage to speak with the man, but he spoke first. You're charging for these? I managed a tiny nod. The man snorted. I would never hang these on my wall, even if it gave them to me for free. Seriously. This is the most shameless display I've ever seen. Trolls online were one thing. Confronting one in real life was a rarity. Judging from the man's scrawny arms, I bet I could overpower him with ease, that he would know just how big of a blunder he had made. Oh boy. Hang in there, ma'am. Hang in there. Folks always had to ignore trolls. I clenched my teeth and stayed put. After chuckling in my face, the man strutted off. Determined to prove him wrong, I continued to sit and wait for potential customers. Another 1,000 people walked by without sparing me a look. Lingering here any longer would be a waste of my time. As I packed my things, I insisted I was leaving because my part-time job started in an hour. Deep inside, I knew that man's words had rocked my confidence. Giving up on calligraphy would mean I had wasted all this time for over nothing. Yet, if I lacked a gift, persevering might make things worse. Tears welled in my eyes, and I clenched my fists to hold them back. Speaking of tears, I heard a kid crying within the crowd. Looks like we had a lost child on our hands. Some pedestrians shot him glances, but none of them offered more than that. These really were horrible people. To cheer myself up, I told myself I would never want my calligraphies to be owned by people like that. I should help the kid, but that would mean being late for my job. Well, since I've been playing it as a moral, upstanding citizen of the law so far, let's be moral and upstanding. If I judge others for abandoning a child then did the same myself, I would be a jerk and a hypocrite. Good point. With a sigh, I walked up to the boy. There, it's okay. Did you lose Mommy? The boy was sobbing too hard to answer. I leaned in to stroke his back with one hand and his head with the other. Let me know if you lost Mommy, okay? I'll help you find her, so there's no need to be scared. The kid managed to nod at last, and I whispered good boy into his ear. What's your Mommy's name? Hungry. Her name is Hungry? The boy's tummy growled and I realized what he meant. Oh, well, how about I buy you a sandwich? The kid shook his head. I want ice cream. Hey kid, ice cream is more of a dessert actually. I want ice cream. And so ice cream it was. One for him and none for me. The money came out of my pocket, of course. My poor wallet. At least this kid could have eaten the whole thing rather than let half of it melt on his shirt. Jessie, the boy said. That's Mommy's name. Jessie, I called as I strode along the street. Now people stared at me more than ever. Enough to make me blush, in fact. Maybe I should try shouting Jessie at random next time I sold my calligraphies. The sky turned orange as time ticked by. Yes, I knew my shift started half an hour ago. Stop reminding me. A woman squeezed through the crowd and scurried towards us. She ran past a red light, nearly getting hit by a truck in the process. Mommy! The boy shook free of my hold and rushed into his mother's embrace. After muttering apologies to her son, the woman gazed towards me. Oh, thank you so much for your help. You're wonderful, just wonderful. The torrent of praises curled my lips into a stupid grin. Anyone would have done the same thing. Please, if there's anything I can do in return, just let me know, the mother said. Actually, there is something I need help with. The mother nodded. Anything in my power, miss? But which way back to the train station? And I'm late for work. What a terrible fate. Dun dun dun. The sky had gone dark by the time I arrived at work. I opened the restaurant door gingerly to avoid making any noise. Stealth mode switched on. They call me Ninja Vinti for a reason. Miss Vinti! The voice of my boss nearly made me jump onto the ceiling fan. Sorry I'm late. I wanted to explain, but my boss glared at me and my tongue slurred out a bunch of syllables. My explanation wasn't there somewhere. Probably. Maybe. I received an earful from my boss, but at least I got to keep my job. Several colleagues shot me frowns for not being here during such a busy period. In the end, I took all the blame without complaint. Well, at one point I locked myself inside the toilet and screamed into the bowl. I also might or might not have fantasized about dunking my workmates' heads into the toilet. It was for me alone to know though. At least I earned the paycheck needed to keep my landlady quiet for another month. As for the month after that, we would see when the time came. All I wanted to was pursue my art, but reality kept pressuring me towards finding a second job. On my way home, I spotted a banner for an upcoming visual novel named Princess Araya. The game had long been hyped on every forum I knew. Amazing art, along with a cast of famous voice actors. The writer and composer were big names too. For Princess Araya to have an ad this big, there must be a lot of money put behind the project. The way this banner hung high gave me the sense it was extra important. Bright lights shone on the princess' face to impress potential buyers. Yes, that was what I really needed. If I had a banner like that, no doubt people would line up to buy my calligraphy. I could already imagine how folks would react as I walked down the streets. Hey, I think that was Finty. Wow, no way, you mean the famous calligrapher I see on all those banners? Yeah, she must be really good. Maybe we should ask her for a autograph. My agent would then step in to speak on my behalf. Please line up in an orderly fashion, everyone. How much for an autograph? Shut up and take my money. My agent nodded in response. Autographs are available for $100, thanks. That would be $100, thanks, the game shop owner said. Princess Araya cost twice what I had predicted. If I bought the game, I would have too little left for rent. I opened my wallet, hoping I might have more cash on hand than I realized. Turned out I had less, actually. I hung my head at the storekeeper's side. His arched brows pressured me into buying a game. I did ride 3 trains to get here. Might as well pick up something. I told the shopkeeper how much money I had and he shook his head. The store owner pulled out a different game from under his table. He brushed away the dust on it so I could see the cover. The title read Sunflower War, some visual novel about the battlefield. Copyright 1997, the bottom read. No wonder it was so cheap. Art by Invert Mouse, whoever the heck that was. The front cover would fit perfectly in the kindergarten classroom. I flipped the case to see what was highlighted on the back. The game supported up to 640 by 480 resolution. Truly the pinnacle of technology. The shopkeeper grimaced. He must have sensed I wanted to say no. His stare made my palms stain with sweat, and I ended up buying the game. Dealing with folks like that had always been a weakness of mine. Remind me to never visit this store again. Hey, old games might be good. I mean, look at what I've been doing with my channel. I've dug up some pretty old games and... well, even if they're not good, I can have fun making fun of them. Who knows? With heavy strides, I returned to my apartment. 0 calligraphy sales, late for work and with rent, topped off by blowing cash on some game I had no interest in. What I really wanted to play was Princess Araya. Forcing myself to suffer anything else would just upset me further. Let's give that game a shot, why not? Who knows, it might be an old classic. I did spend money on Sunflower War, might as well give it a go. The day left me pretty drained, so this relic of a game would do a good job putting me to sleep. I switched on my laptop and inserted the disc, which I partly hoped would fail to load from old age. Too bad it worked just fine. No doubt a lot of people were loving Princess Araya right now. Meanwhile, here I was enjoying this 640 by 480 godsend. No voice acting either. These illustrations look like they were done by a child. I'll be better off closing my eyes and imagining my own artworks. Are you mocking yourself? Your resolution support... well, I looked into it. Either I'm not aware of it, but it looks like I'm stuck with this resolution. Why do you think there's like... why do you think I put pictures of your face on the left and right? To make it fill up and stuff. No voice acting, no voice acting. I'm doing all the voices for you. Illustrations look like they were done by a child. Well, other than that one pic, you're all cheapy and stuff. You're making fun of yourself, aren't you? But just cause you're making fun of yourself doesn't mean you're off the hook for what you're doing. I kid, you're doing fine. You're actually engaging me pretty well. Don't be mad at me. Let's move on. The grass reached up to our knees. As I read along, I painted an image of the scene in my head. The plants rustled as we waded through. We paused once every few steps, fearing there might be snakes hiding among the bushes. Somehow we managed to survive the evening. The sun surged from beyond the horizon, outlining the earth with an orange glow. Slowly the blue sky emerged and vanquished the darkness that had haunted us. As light bathed the soil, I found myself in a field of sunflowers. I had imagined this place to look far more terrifying, but anxiety had merely been playing tricks on me. I drew a deep breath to savor the morning fragrance. In the distance, birds chirped as if applauding our survival. I could see it. Not only that, but touch, hear, and smell too. An experience crafted by my imagination. The image rivaled the strokes of any artist, and it belonged to me alone. This fulfillment inspired me to take things further. The blasts of gunfire deafened us as we dove behind the wall. A bullet whizzed past the tip of my helmet. Sam had passed his helmet on to me with her dying breath. I would carry on her legacy. The desert heat pinched sweat out from my every pore. I desperately wanted to empty this water bottle down my throat, but with no help in sight, I must conserve every drop. Joe's eyes closed, this time never to reopen. Despite our promise to survive together, only I managed to live. How I wish I could take her place. I finished reading Sunflower War right as the clock struck 3 AM. How so many people had missed this classic left me dumbfounded. Hey, see? Give old games a chance. Give old and unheard of games a chance. True, it will probably be bad, but as long as you had fun, and who knows, it could turn out good. That's the lesson for today. I kid, let's move on. Actually, that would be a lie, as I too had every intention of tossing this game aside. I kept demanding excitement without offering an ounce of passion in return. If I played my part, I might be able to discover so much more. As Sunflower Wars credits rolled, I realized just how small the development group was. The team probably knew they stood no chance against the bigger studios, yet they still did their best with dated technologies to deliver a vision they believed in. The happiness they felt when working on the project poured out of every line in this game. I could gaze right into their hearts. The thing I had long neglected. Mommy, Daddy, Vinty, what is it, darling? Look, it's my calligraphy. Holly, it's calligraphy. But that's great, I think you have a lot of talent. This is so much fun. I'm gonna become a calligrapher. I have forgotten the last time I found joy in calligraphy. Every stroke these days felt like a grocery chore. All I obsessed over was how much, or rather how little, people paid attention to my efforts. My works no longer possess heart, and I failed to notice it. Time to do something about that. I could hardly wait to start. After all, I chose this path because I loved it. The next day, I ventured outside of a new set of calligraphies. Though I made no sales thus far, I still found myself beaming. That might explain why some people smiled back. Perhaps it was the weather, but I saw everyone felt warmer today. Mommy, there she is, the ice cream lady. A boy dragged his mother in my direction. It was the kid I helped out yesterday. Mother and I exchanged nods. Honey, the lady has a name. It's rude to call her the ice cream lady. What's her name then? Oh my, it's... well... sorry, what was it? It's Vinty. The mother slapped her boy on the back. See? Her name is Miss Vinty. Mommy, can we buy one of these doodles from the ice cream lady? Doodle must be another word for the top of the line calligraphy. No other explanation could restrain me from shaking the brain out of this boy. My name was nowhere inside that little brain anyway. The mother checked her wallet and her face scrunched the way mine often did. All good, madam. I knew how it felt to be living on the edge of being homeless. Please, the boy nagged on. This showed why I would never have kids. The mother relented at last and bought one of my works. Guess the boy wanted to repay my kindness. I gave his hair a ruffle as thanks. After flashing his missing tooth with a grin, he pulled his mother back into the crowd. Well, at least I scored better marks than yesterday. Another man strode towards me. Wow, I was on a roll now. With heart on my side, my fame and fortune has arrived. Clean my shoes, peasants. Hey, it's you again, the man said. Oh. The troll from yesterday. I calmed my thoughts to avoid causing a scene. Maybe the guy came to apologize. Even a creep like him must know how rude he had been. Yes, my aura has cleansed him of all evil thoughts. Go on, empty your wallet at my greatness. Wow. These new scribbles are even worse than the ones you brought last time. Lol. Somehow I had turned into an internet celebrity. I'm sorry. I took a minute to... I needed like a couple seconds to comprehend what was going on the screen. Wow. Is it bad that I want that to be a real video? Oh goodness gracious me. Top comment. Damn, snap. Wow, she went full crazy, lol. Triangle mouth at 0.07. Oh god, I can't do this. Oh god. Oh god, I'm dying. Triangle mouth. One thing's so certain. This game has a good sense of humor about itself. Should be like, why you no buy, haha. More like this might be a good time to look for that second job. Ooh. Oh boy. I probably need a... okay. Give me a sec. Wow, okay. So that was Without Within. That was one heck of an ending. It was funny. It was very, very funny. Oh man. It was also kind of poignant at points, you know. If you're an aspiring artist, you probably take some of that to heart, you know. What she said, that's good lessons. You need heart. You need heart to go behind your art. Alright. You know, this game's actually charmed me enough that I'm gonna do something I haven't done with the other games. I'm gonna play this again and I'm gonna take a look at the other endings. But that will have to come in another part because I've been going on for quite long now. So, stay tuned. There's gonna be one more part of Without Within. We're gonna take a look at all the other dialogue options. So, see you soon. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to my little special extra episode of Without Within. We're gonna take a look at the other dialogue options. First of all, what if we stayed in bed instead of rising up to meet the landlady? I snuggled back into my blanket. The landlady could knock all she wanted, but my focus was on my calligraphy dreams. I had no time for these common folk matters. A week later, it turned out the landlady was chasing me for my rent. By the time I realized, she had already evicted me. Now I live on these streets with nothing but my calligraphies. The past few nights have been freezing cold, and I ran out of tissues to wipe my runny nose with. To make things worse, I could feel my head heating up from an upcoming fever. Might I interest you in buying one of my works? I've got a 2-for-1 deal today. Bad end. Womp womp. Oh dear. Okay. That's a bad end for you. Let's keep going then. Now here, we're not having any luck selling our calligraphies, so now we have an option to rent! Let's go crazy! Enough was enough. I sprang off the ground and kicked the fence behind me. The crowd stared as I ranted on and on about their ignorance. It felt so good to let loose. If these people knew how to spot real art, my career would have already kicked off. 2 days later, my eruption made its way to the internet. Guys, make sure to never buy anything from her. She's nuts! Who does she think she is? Spread the news, everyone. We need to make sure people like that never get anywhere. My career was doomed. If I knew one mistake would destroy everything, I would have kept my trap shut. How I wish I could relieve that day. Good for you. We are going to relieve it right now. Now that we get to relieve the day, let's do the best thing that we can today and make sure we get through the day right. Let's do assault and battery. I crunched up one of my calligraphies in rows. The man must have sensed my violent intent as he backed a step and shielded his face with a bucket of chicken. I threw a punch at him before he could flee into the crowd. My fist connected with the side of his head. That marked the first time I had ever hit someone. My knuckles hurt from the blow, but seeing the guy's dropped jaw made it worthwhile. He probably grew up this way because nobody ever dared to punish him. A couple of pedestrians popped in and held me back from attacking the man further. I squirmed against the grips, but gave up as my anger waned. Once my breathing returned to normal, the civilians loosened their hold and I brushed myself free. I'll remember this! The man fled for the train station, eating another piece of chicken as he did so. I hope he choked on it. The next morning, someone knocked on my door. I checked the clock. 5 a.m. When would the landlady cut me a break? Miss Vinty, it's the police! Perfect expression. I cupped a hand over my mouth, as if keeping quiet would make the police go away. They must be here to ask about my assault yesterday. The guy I punched was nothing but talk. I should have let him ramble. God knew what would befall me now. I prayed I would at least be spared a jail sentence. Tears streaked down my cheeks as I buried myself under the blanket. This had to be nothing more than a bad dream. Don't worry, it's a bad dream, and you're waking up now. Okay, we are awake. We went to work. There's a boy lost. Let's ignore him. Sorry, kid. Miss Vinty had a job to go to. Convincing myself that another person would help him, I headed off to work. The next morning, the kid from yesterday appeared in the news. The reporter announced that he had gone missing. Guilt seized my heart and threatened to crush it. I ended up being just as selfish as the people I had criticized. A low life like me had no right to dream about success. I could never return to that place without being tormented by remorse. And so, my little stint as an artist came to an end. Oh dear. It's alright, you'll get a second chance. We're home. It's been a long day of work. I don't feel like playing right now. Let's go to sleep. Forget it. I only blowed sunflower war out of pressure. After shoving the game into my bin, I crawled into bed. For For the next few weeks, I tried over and over to sell my calligraphies, but all my works remained untouched. Well, aside from a few pedestrians who stepped on them by mistake. Wait, my bad. I did pick one sale. This one guy said he needed my calligraphy to use as toilet paper. I had zero passion left for calligraphy. In fact, just thinking about it filled me with anger. This was no longer the career for me. Today I choose to retire for good. Bad end. Oh dear. Well. Poor Vinty. Well, that was all the alternate endings. All the bad endings. Surprisingly, I got the right ending straight from the start. Which I guess is pretty obvious, in a way. Other than the last one, I guess. Going to sleep you might see it as the good choice to get rest or whatever. But oh well. Anyway, this game really has been quite charming. I thoroughly enjoyed it. This episode's probably going to be quite a bit short since it's just the bad endings, but hey, I decided it's worth it to give it a second part, you know? It really was charming enough. I found it as a sequel. Maybe I'll look into that someday as well. Although I do have a lot of stuff currently lined up, so who knows when I'll be able to get to that. But anyway, this has been Without Within. Thank you for watching, and Coro out.